Hi, I'm Professor Jay Zagorsky, and the 2016 presidential conventions are coming soon. Boosters are cheering for the millions of dollars they'll bring to Cleveland and Philadelphia's businesses. There are lots of impact studies of previous Republican and Democratic nominating conventions that were paid for by the organizing committees. And each official study seems to produce even more eye-popping impact figures than the last. However, research by academics not affiliated with the convention's committees suggests they really have no financial impact. So which is the true story? Keep watching to find out. The host committee in Cleveland estimates the current convention will result in 50,000 visitors who will spend a total of $200 million. And that's overshadowed by the official figure from the Tampa Bay 2012 convention, which was over $400 million. It's not just Republican conventions producing these huge figures. Democratic conventions are reputed to have just as big an impact, if not more. The buzz surrounding Philadelphia's upcoming convention claims it will bring in $350 million, which leaves Cleveland's $200 million figure in the dust. In fact, if you add up the official figures from the 6 conventions held from 2008 to 2016, supposedly they generated a $1.5 billion jackpot. Wow! However, there's reason to suspect that $1.5 billion figure is greatly exaggerated. There was an excellent research article published in Eastern Economic Review, and it looked at the impact of every nominating convention held from 1970 to 2004. The conclusion? No discernible impact. Why? Because there were 5 flaws in the boosters' calculations. First, visitors and locals that normally come to the city are displaced by delegates. Conventions result in street closures and detours. In addition, many conventions are marred by protests or even riots. In 2004, I lived really close to the Democratic convention. To avoid the chaos, my family and I left on vacation until the craziness was over. When locals and other visitors avoid a city because of a convention, spending is lost. Second, boosters report the total spending by visitors. However, the local impact is much less since a large part of that spending is based on items brought in from outside the city. For example, if a delegate in Cleveland spends $50 on steak and wine, that entire amount goes into the impact statement. However, Cleveland has no cattle ranches and no wineries that I know of. If the steak came from Chicago and the wine came from California, the true local impact is $50 minus the cost of that beef and alcohol. Third, convention organizers often claim they boost local employment temporarily. Some of that temporary employment, however, is by workers who come from outside the region and will return home to spend their wages once the convention ends. For example, media specialists, high-level political operatives, and even extra waiters are brought in for conventions. Their wages are counted towards the direct impact of the event. However, these people will be paid well after the convention ends and use their pay elsewhere. Fourth, spending by locals who don't flee during the convention is often included in the official figures. For example, conventions bring in lots of local volunteers. Cleveland is hoping for 8,000 people to help out for free. These volunteers buy lunches, take taxis, and spend money, all of which is counted by the boosters. Much of this money, however, would have likely been spent anyway in the local economy. Fifth, boosters ignore the effects of taxes in their calculations. These taxes significantly reduce the convention's overall benefit. Let's assume a convention really does boost income in the local area by an extra $100 million. Both the federal and state government will take a large share of that new money in taxes, and it will leave the community with a much smaller sum. So how do we determine which side is correct? One simple way is to look at official sales figures collected by the tax officials. Hotels, restaurants, and other companies are all required to tell state officials exactly how much they sold each month. The last Republican convention held in Tampa Bay in 2012 provides a straightforward method of checking the economic impact. It does this because the state of Florida maintains a website that shows monthly sales by both category and county. This graph shows total monthly sales in the 2 counties comprising the Tampa Bay area. The graph is centered on August 2012, which is the date of the last Republican convention. Boosters of that convention stated it brought in over $400 million. Visually, however, the data from Florida's Department of Revenue shows no boost in actual sales occurred. If there's no economic benefit, why do cities fight each other to hold conventions? In my mind, the answer is simple. While there's no overall impact, select groups clearly profit. Municipal employees rack up tremendous amounts of overtime. Local politicians receive prime time on national television, which boosts their political profile and increases their chances for re-election. Additionally, there's a clear publicity advantage for the city. The key tourist attractions, best restaurants, and quirky local customs are highlighted for television viewers. This increases tourism in the long run. In conclusion, I believe there's a benefit for holding convention, but it's not an immediate economic advantage. Instead, what organizers get is a brief period of time when the eyes of the world are focused on the convention city. Cleveland and Philly, enjoy your time in the spotlight. Be sure to check out my other videos for more interesting economic ideas. Thanks for watching and have a great day.